Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Teacher Casey, and I wanted to talk to you about some essential kitchen items that you may want to use for this Thanksgiving or Christmas dinner or in the future. So if you have ever made Thanksgiving dinner, you know it takes everything in your kitchen. Like you'll break out the pots and pans, every dish in the house will be dirty, and you'll spend hours working on your feast and cleaning up. So it is impossible to take out all of the chaos for Thanksgiving dinner prep or Thanksgiving day, but a few things can help make it a little better and less overwhelming. Many of these kitchen essentials are things you probably already have on hand in your house, like some pans and a peeler, and a few of them you may want to stock up on before the big day. They're all easy enough to find at a local store or online, saving you at least one headache this holiday season. Also below, I have put a link. My friend sells Pampered Chef. I do not, but most of my items, and I'll show you some today, are from Pampered Chef, or I have used Amazon. So I put a link to the Pampered Chef party, and then I also put a link to some items on Amazon so that you can quickly find them. The items on Amazon, if I didn't have it, I went and looked for a less expensive but had many positive reviews. So that's kind of how I checked things out there. All right, so what are these essential items? Number one, a roasting pan with a rack. Some of you might be like, oh, why? You could probably buy a cheap disposable aluminum roasting pan year after year, like I always have, until what happened last year. I'll tell you that in a minute. But a simple roasting pan with a rack is worth the investment, and here's why. A few things are more disappointing than a perfectly golden brown roasted turkey with a soggy, limp underside. That's what happens when you don't elevate the bird and allow the drippings to collect underneath it. A roasting pan with a rack rectifies this issue, allowing the turkey to cook evenly on all sides. Plus, the roasting pan collects all of the drippings, making for amazing Thanksgiving gravy. If you like gravy, I do not. Okay, or what happened last year to me, like I said, I've always bought those aluminum turkey pans, and I was putting the turkey back into the oven and it just kind of rubbed on the rack itself, and it caused a hole in the aluminum pan. So the drippings went down everywhere in the bottom of the stove. It got a little smoky, and we had to find something else to put under there. And the worst part was the cleanup for days, like turkey drippings. I don't know if you guys have ever had to deal with that, but every time I turned on the oven to cook, it would like start burning them again, even though it was all cleaned up. So that's my horror story. So roasting pan with a rack. Number two, a carving knife and a board. These are simple tools, a carving knife and a large cutting board. You probably have it at your house. All you really need is a sharp chef's knife and a large enough board, ideally with edges that keeps the juices from running over. Not sure if you've done that before and you cut in, and yeah, if it's juicy, it's worth it maybe, I don't know. But if you're looking to get a little fancy, you can upgrade your options. Get an electric carving knife. You can slice perfectly portioned chunks or hunks of turkey every time, or find a carving board with like a built-in drip tray. And that's like the easiest cleanup ever. Okay, so I do have something to show you. This is they suggest a readable meat thermometer, and Butcher Box said if there's one kitchen tool they'd recommend the most for preparing Thanksgiving dinner is a solid meat thermometer. We'd use a digital instant read probe thermometer, which ensures quick and accurate reads. So basically, after spending hours and hours making this beautiful turkey, you don't want to carve it all up to check and see if it's ready, right? That's when you can use like an instant read thermometer, or I have this little cheap one, but it's not really good for the turkey because it's just so small, and you want to make sure that it gets into the thickest part of the thigh. but you could use an easy thermometer like this, or this one is obviously my Pampered Chef one. The one I have linked below is on Amazon, and it had tons of great reviews. It looked kind of like this one. This one also has like an extension on it, so I can plug this in and have it longer. So I made the mistake one year, and basically you want your turkey to be at 165. I didn't even have a thermometer. I think I was maybe 20 years old making my first turkey. I might have been a little older because I think we're in Japan at this time. And yeah, guys, it was still like raw in parts. So I couldn't serve a raw turkey. It was like 20 something pounds. I'm trying to feed like 40 of my Japanese students. And I ended up having to microwave it. So I know, super sad for the microwave, super sad for my students that were tasting it. I mean, it was still pretty good. It just was not, the turkey I had hoped for. But, I was brand new and wanted to show my students what Thanksgiving was all about. So the important thing was the friendship, right? The gratitude. And the turkey turned out okay. I wanted to make sure it was cooked, and I didn't have a thermometer. If I had a thermometer and knew what I was doing, I would have been all right. But I mean, I didn't even know how long it took to defrost a 22-pound turkey. I was just so new, so young. Okay, then next one, number 4, butcher's twine. So if you plan to truss your bird, you'll need some butcher's twine. If you're not sure what that means, trussing is a process of lifting and tucking and tying parts of the bird together so that all of it cooks evenly throughout. I usually think like if the wings or legs fly out, they burn, right? And the rest of the turkey or chicken or whatever is still cooking. So you put it all together using twine. I don't normally truss the bird because I use whatever comes with the turkey, because I've always used Butterball, but this year I have a new turkey. I guess I better check to see if it has the butcher's twine. So to truss it, you're going to need butcher's twine. Don't opt for other household items like thread. That could ignite in the oven. So butcher's twine is the safest material to do the job. I don't really use it, but I added a link below to a cooking butcher's twine that I found on Amazon. It was one of the cheapest, but had some really good reviews. Okay, next, a baster. Excuse me. Next, a baster. So this one is a bit controversial, as not all chefs agree you need a turkey baster. But if you're looking to make a moist, juicy turkey, a turkey baster can be handy. I remember when I was younger, my parents used the turkey baster. So simply use your turkey baster, like ladle turkey drippings over the turkey every hour or so. You can try to accomplish this using a large spoon or a measuring cup, but the baster helps protect your hands because it's longer. So instead of trying to go in there and scoop with something, you're actually just kind of sucking it out of there, putting it in there. I don't baste my turkey because I stuff it with lots of citrus. So I will just get a couple of oranges, lemons, limes, and onions, and I just kind of quarter them and shove them in there until I can't fit anymore. And I've always had moist turkeys that way, except for the year that I cooked that one in Japan. Okay, so give me a break. I was young. All right, number 6, an array of casserole and baking dishes. Green bean casserole, mac and cheese, sweet potato casserole, roasted veggies, dinner rolls. The list of baked Thanksgiving sides is endless. I love the sides because I don't like turkey. I actually like ham and usually make a small ham to go with it, but that's for another day. I absolutely love Thanksgiving side dishes. It's likely that your oven will be hard at work on Thanksgiving, so you're going to need a lot of baking dishes. You can use the aluminum ones. I did put some more down below, but a medley of glass or Pyrex baking dishes or casserole dishes make easy work for your side dishes. So do the prettier ceramic baking dishes. Whatever you have, make sure you have enough for every side that you plan to whip up that day. However, I'm going to be using these. I swear I'm not doing a Pampered Chef commercial. It just happens to be what I have here, but this is an insulated bowl, and the trick to these that I read was to put hot water in here 5 minutes before you're going to use it, and then dump it out. That way there, it's already heated up, ready. So what I'm gonna do is make like the mashed potatoes. And then once they're done, I'll put them in here, and it's supposed to stay warm for 2 hours, I think it is in here. So that's what I will be doing. I'll be using these. I bought a couple of them. I'll let you know how those go. Speaking of potatoes, I didn't add this below, maybe I will, but a potato masher, they look all different, but don't forget, what do? You use a fork if you forget your potato masher? I have 2 of them because I love mashed potatoes. I love sweet mashed potatoes as well. Okay, number 7, a good peeler. So technically you can peel vegetables with a with a sharp paring knife. But when you're facing down peeling like a whole bag of potatoes in the middle of Thanksgiving prep, you're gonna wish you had a good vegetable peeler. So I have a couple of different ones. There's, this one has like a safety cover on it. There's all different peelers that you can use, and julienne peelers to make cutesy little things, or whichever, but a good peeler really helps. I remember my mom using a knife all the time, but I don't know, she was like a pro at it. So it's not just the potatoes though that you might want to peel. You might have like, are you baking a pie and need to peel apples? Are you making sweet potato casserole or mashed sweet potatoes where you need to peel those? Squashes, root veggies, carrots, a peeler can make some really quick work out of those. So there are a couple of different types of peelers, including Y-shaped and straight ones, and ultimately whatever makes you feel good is good. Make sure it has a comfortable handle. I think that's probably the one thing I would look for. I did add some below, but my favorite ones, because I've tried many, are actually on Pampered Chef. I feel like they're sharper. I don't know. All right, next, more sheet pans than you'd think. So this is probably one of the last ones that I'm going to get to, but this last one is more of a tip than a kitchen essential. So if you're roasting veggies or baking bread, you probably have some sheet pans ready to go for your Thanksgiving prep. But don't forget about the many ways a sheet pan can be put to use, right? You place things on top, like you put your pie on a sheet pan. So I used to put my turkey on it to serve it. You can make like an entire Thanksgiving dinner on a couple of sheet pans. So for most of my items, like I mentioned, I use Pampered Chef, and I'll leave the link below to my party that my friend is having for me. I'm not the consultant, like I said, so I'm not making any money off this. I do make a little bit of money off friends going to my Amazon and clicking the links there. So just check below this video to see if there's anything you need. Hopefully some Black Friday deals will come up if you're waiting for things for Christmas. But yeah, that's it. I hope you were able to get some useful tips to help your Thanksgiving or Christmas dinner and make it a success for your friends and family. Happy holidays, everyone, and I will see you all next time. More tips coming up. Bye.